Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Brandon. Brandon is from Lincoln in England, in the UK. So let's see what Brandon has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Brandon, how are you?
I'm very, very good, mate. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. More than welcome to. I love the project that you're doing. I think it's so wonderful, honestly, and so special. Uh,
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
So tell me, how was your day today?
Sorry, say that again.
How was your day today?
My day today, I had quite an interesting day actually. So I went to see this new house that I'm looking at. I'm looking to share with someone new.
Okay.
With this lovely house that overlooks a very wonderful part of Lincoln, which is the West Common, where there's like horses that run free, and oh, it's just so lovely. I can't wait to move there. So I went and looked at that now. Well, I went and looked at that earlier, um, and then I just went to Starbucks. I had some work to do. So I like to sit there. I like to be among people while I'm working. So especially if it's on the laptop. So yeah, I nipped there. My friend works there, so I got to say hello to her as well. So yeah, that was how my day was. How was yours?
It was good as well. Was busy. I was working, so I love being busy. I think when you are busy, it makes your day more productive. I love it.
Exactly, exactly. Good, good, good.
Tell me,
That-
where are you from, Brandon?
so I am from Lincoln in the UK. I was from Croydon, down south, and then at the age of, I think it was either 9 or 10, I moved up to Mansfield because there was quite a large amount of crime that was happening in Croydon.
Okay.
So we moved up to Mansfield, which is a very well just outside of Mansfield, where there's a lovely place called Warsop, which is basically in the countryside. And I had a very very nice childhood there. And then I moved over to Lincoln for university, and I just stayed because I love it here. It's one of those places where it's not so big that it's like everything's going at a million miles an hour, but it's also not so small that it's like, oh well, nothing's happening here. So it sort of sits somewhere nicely in the middle. So I really love it here.
Amazing. So tell me something interesting about Lincoln. Tell me something that stands out compared with other places in the UK.
Um, I would well, obviously we have our cathedral. We have our cathedral. It's a Lincoln icon. Everyone loves it there. I like. There's a bench just outside of it where I love to sit, and I like to write my poetry or my music or the lyrics for my music, not so much the music itself.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to sit there, look up at it, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other people in Lincoln too that love it. But also the live music scene in Lincoln has just prospered tenfold.
Wow.
Um, I think that's something that we should hold very dear here, and I think it's just incredible. There's so much fresh talent coming out, and old talent alike, that's just coming out of this city, and it's really doing very well. And like I say, that's very special to me, as well as the rest of Lincoln. So yeah, that.
I think it's great for you to be in a place where there is some art around, where you can connect with other people express themselves through arts, and also, it's amazing to be in a place like that.
Exactly, exactly. And we've got so many museums. I think we've got like three different museums to say we're a small place, and so many artists. I used to run a small little business called the Lincoln Creative Collective, even, because I was very passionate about it when I came out of university, was letting people explore what they wanted to do with their art, and the idea was to make it so that there was an instant connection and instant I can't think what the right word is. Like instant collaboration. So if you had like a painter, or let's say like a photographer that needed a model, it was just like, oh, I'm in Lincoln too, then they just work together. So that was really fun at the time, and yeah, I'd like to think I've contributed a little bit to the to the art scene in Lincoln. Yeah, with a couple of events that I did back then as well. Thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah.
Amazing. Brandon, let's start the interview talking about your career as a musician, as a poet, as an artist. So tell me how everything got together, how everything started.
Oh my word. Okay. So we're going back quite a ways now. If we're talking about like my first memory of music, for instance, my father, my dad, he learned how to play guitar. He sort of like knew the basics. He knew the sort of like an intermediate amount. And when I was very, very little, I think I was still like a toddler or something like that. He would he wrote out all of the lyrics. I remember this like it was yesterday. He wrote out all of the lyrics to Wonderwall by Oasis on it was pink sticky notes, and he stuck it all the way down the guitar. And he would do the chords on with the left hand, and I would strum it as a toddler. So that was sort of where everything started.
Wow.
When I was about 9, I think around about 9 or 10, I started to learn the guitar properly. Sorry, I started to learn it properly. Um, so my dad made a bet with me. He said I bet that you can't learn this by the time that I get back from work. Basically, he used to work away, so he said you've got a week to learn this, and if you learn it
Right.
in this week, you can have £50 or 2 games of your choosing, because I was a bit of a gamer back then. Still am a little bit, actually, to be fair. So yeah, he made that deal with me, and I could still play it today. It's called Pseudo Hendrix. It's from a game called Viet Cong. I think it's called Viet Cong anyway. Um, yeah, so he asked me to learn that. And he came back and I was like, sit down, Dad, I've got something to show you. And
Amazing.
I blasted it out perfectly. Yeah, so then so I continued to learn music. My singing voice was awful, I'll be honest. Obviously, when you're going through puberty, your vocal range is going through so many different twists and turns that it's so hard to find your singing voice. So I learned guitar. I sort of learned how to, do vocals okay, um, which was really, really fun. And I sort of played in my bedroom for a very long time. And then I came to university. Um, which I came here to do a drama course primarily. But on
Okay.
the weeks, I think it was I want to say every Wednesday, roughly. It might have been a Tuesday. Basically, I saw this poster that said "Open mic on here tonight." And,
Oh wow.
so the big open mic night, and it was just around the corner from me. I thought, well, now's the time to take the stuff that I've learned and maybe perform it in front of a couple of people. People were starting to say some very nice things, about what I was playing when I played to friends at parties and stuff. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll give that a try. And I met up with a very lovely, lovely man and still dear friend to me, Robert Parperis, at this open mic night. He was running it. Have I lost you? No, I haven't. It looked like you've frozen for a second then. Yeah, so Robert Parperis, he's just frozen on my screen. Yeah, Robert Parperis, he said, "Oh, you're really good. You should come to my friend's open mic night." And he was like, "It's tonight. Like as soon as I finished, we'll get in my car." Bear in mind, I'd only just met the man. We got in his car and we went to this open mic night, and that's where I met my very, very dear friend and probably my best friend in the world, Michael Logan, who has just been an absolute champion of live music in Lincoln. He owns a venue called the Komodo, which I have to mention. It's so dear to me. It's a place that the musicians, poets, anyone that's creatively minded can meet together. It's a speakeasy. I don't think he'll mind me mentioning it. Hold on.
And also, I invite him for the Magic Box. He's welcome to come to the
Yeah,
Magic
of course.
Box.
He's a
Yeah.
very, very busy man, but I shall mention you to him. He runs the whole venue. He runs everything, from promotion to the social media. So he's literally busy on every single day of the week doing something. But I will mention you to him, and we'll see if we can work something out there. He's a very intelligent man. Yeah, so I met up with him at this open mic night. I think it was the Joiners Arms in Lincoln, and I played there. And it just sort of became this roller coaster where I'd started off at this first open mic night, then there was another one, and then I met up with a man called Michael Dartu, and we started running open mics as well. We ran the Still, the Birdcage, and it was called the Hop and Barley then. I'm not really sure what it's called. It's Lincoln's only micro pub, so it's a very small room. And that was how I started to make a little bit of money, basically, was that I would go to these places and perform open mic nights and run them. And it's just been part of my life ever since. has music. I've gone from jobs that I sort of dislike, or they just don't satisfy me in some way. But it was only recent. It was only recently that I managed. I've broken out of this. My job taking up all of my energy and all of my time, and I've managed to direct that
Mm-hmm.
that into music, which has been
Right.
just the most. I don't know whether to call it like fortuitous or just like complete happenstance. Um, it's changed my life in many ways, because I've gone from being just a musician who does, well, I say just a musician like they don't have any worth, but that's not true. I used to do a lot of covers, and that was sort of like how I did things. But now I've gone from that. I'm writing my own original material.
Wow.
I'm writing the poetry, as you've seen. Um, and I've got the opportunity to play at lots of gigs in Lincoln. Basically, there
Mm-hmm.
is also more opportunity on the horizon. I've met with a man called Stevie Catney, and he's just the most phenomenal person in the world. He's such an electric energy, such a wonderful man, and I met with him just last week, as it goes, and I do as some of my covers. I'll do like these old time, Frank Sinatra. I'll do like the old crooner songs. So Frank Sinatra, your Dean Martin, your Bobby Darin, so on and so forth. And it turns out that he does exactly the same thing.
Amazing.
So we had this completely random meeting just I think it was just last week. And now we're talking about maybe taking these acts to cruise ships, taking them a little bit further afield, working on a night together where, I'll do some singing, he'll do some singing, some songs we'll sing together. So all very, very, very exciting stuff. Yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry, I've gone probably a little bit overboard with the question that you asked.
Okay, thanks so much for sharing that. I think it's amazing for you to be able to, to try different opportunities coming along in your life. I think that's the beauty of life for sure.
For sure, for sure. Thank you.
Brandon, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories life and share your point of views?
Oh my God, absolutely. Absolutely.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So,
Marvelous.
best friend. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just first to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Yeah.
First question is, what's the most beautiful gift have you received?
Oh, the most beautiful gift that I've ever received. You know what? I have one of them here. I've received so many gifts throughout my life, but this one is particularly special to me. And it's from my mother, from my mum, and it just says it's a little guitar box that opens up, and I can keep all of my picks inside it, which is quite cool. And it just has a little message on it that says, "To my son, never forget that I love you. Life is filled with hard times and good times. Learn from everything you can. Be the man I know you can. Love from mum." And
That's amazing. Oh, wow.
she's such a lovely woman, is my mum. She'd help anybody through anything, no matter how bad she is in the state of herself. She's absolutely wonderful person, and has been my complete rock throughout my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful woman. I couldn't wish for a better mum. You're very lucky.
Okay, so she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
My mom's watching right now. I just want to say that I love you. I thank you for everything that you've ever given me in my life, and all the work that you still continue to put into me, even when I make times really hard, which sometimes I do. I know, I know I can. Thank you for the way that you've raised me and for making me the man that I am today. I couldn't wish for a better mum. Like I said before, I couldn't wish for a better one. And the same goes to my dad as well. Obviously, I've had very fortunate to have the parents that I have today. And I've had throughout my entire life, obviously.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. So that's probably what I would say right now.
Very sweet. And you have brother and sister as well, Brandon, or not?
I have one brother. His name's Ethan.
Uh-huh.
He's now, oh gosh, I forget sometimes how old he is. He's 21. He's 21
Oh,
now, and he's a wonderful man as well. Very kind-hearted, very giving with his time, and again, I love him so much. I love my
you.
whole family.
Great. Next question. Let's do it.
Of course, of course. I love this.
Next question is, if you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
Oh my word. So if I had to live the actual life of this character, oh my word, that is actually so difficult. I guess James Bond.
Okay.
It's just so cool. I guess other than that, I would love to be part of, you know how Taron Egerton did the Elton John movie. I think that one's fantastic to maybe not to live Elton's exact life, but to actually be the character playing in the movie, as Taron. That's just incredible, and to he met up with Elton as well, before, and he sang the song on the film Sing, just before, so he was kind of made for the part, really.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know whether to be Elton himself, of course, but definitely to play him, as Taron did, would be wonderful.
And you kind of person that prefer more to go to the cinemas or you prefer to watch movies at home?
I'm a little bit of a mix between. The cinemas have become much more expensive here in England. It used to be like you can go and see it for like quite a reasonable price. Now they're starting to get into the realms where they're becoming a little bit unaffordable. For someone like myself, I'm a musician. I'm not the richest man on the planet by any means. But yeah, I like to watch the movies at home. But
Yes,
I do love the experience of the cinema, and there's something about watching it with other people as well that just really brings an extra kind of magic to the film itself.
I get it. Next question. Let's do it. Brandon, tell me before the next question, what's the biggest joy of being an artist, to be a singer? What do you like the most about it?
Well, I can answer this quite plainly, and it's the connection. It's the
Mhm.
connection. We're all human, um, and we all get to take something from an artist and make it our own in a way. As Dodie Clark said, for instance, she's like, this is yours now. Like, it's still mine technically, but it's like, this is yours now, and you can make of it what you will.
Yeah,
Which is very, very artsy, and I love that kind of thing. But yeah, the joy is the connection to make something and for people to go, I resonate with that. I think
right.
it's very, very special, and I'm very grateful that my poetry and my music is resonating with people. It's getting quite good engagement, which I would never have expected. If you'd have asked me 2 or 3 months ago, however long it's been, like, oh, this is what's going to happen. You're going to say some words and people are going to like it. Is
Wow.
It just was never on the cards. I never thought that would be the case, but yeah, it's been wonderful.
And what do you find most challenging about it?
The most challenging, I guess, is to stay authentic.
Okay.
Is to stay authentic. Sometimes you, and David Bowie said this, not to quote him, but he basically said that artists that start writing for people, they start pandering to an audience, or that's when they sort of lose the magic a little bit. Some of his better stuff. If you look at his last album, for instance, he wrote that in a time where he was dying, and people didn't know about this. So his reviews that he got at the start were so like, oh, what the hell is what's David doing? Like, he's gone downhill, and then you realized it was actually his goodbye to the world.
Wow.
So I guess that is it, is to stay authentic, and the connection and the resonance and the meaning will come when it comes. But yes, that is the biggest challenge.
All right. Next question is, what makes you most uncomfortable about dating?
What makes me most uncomfortable about dating? That's quite a good question. I love that question. I don't go on many dates, if I'm being honest. I like to find my romance through connection, authentic connection in face-to-face, person. So yes, I am on dating apps at the moment. I am a single man. I am, but yeah, I think sometimes the most uncomfortable thing about dating for me is like being treated like a product. So some of the questions that might be asked, like, and usually are asked, are like, do you have a car? Do you have a job? Do you have a house? So they're all very geared towards what can you physically give me. Whereas I believe that the strongest part of a relationship is the emotional connection. The spark between one another. So I find those questions quite uncomfortable. Of course, people need to know about these kind of things later on down the line, but on a first date, you need to know about my car or my house or anything else that's physical. Just get to know me. So yeah, that's probably it.
Tell me about your first kiss and your first love.
Oh, my first kiss. I remember this quite well. Her name, and I know so little about her now. I'll not tell you her second name. I'll tell you her first name. Her name was Katie, and I can't even think how old I was. I think I was in year 10. So how old is that? 16, something like that. No,
Right.
15. 15. I would have been 15. And she oh God, oh, my first kiss was so bad. On my part as well. I had no idea what I was doing. I was a young lad. I had no experience, no practice. In the same way that if I picked up a guitar for the first time today, I'd have no idea what I was doing. Yeah. So my first kiss was really, really bad. Very washing machine style tongue move, but I'm glad to say that I've got somewhat better at that over time.
You
But
need
yeah,
to practice. You need to practice it to get the right one. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That was a time in my life. Oh Jesus Christ.
And
Uh,
that was your first love as well, or not?
I don't know necessarily if she was my first love, but we did date for a little while.
Uh-huh.
Um, my first love, properly, I would say, if we're talking about people and not in terms of like, passions and other things, I would say it was probably this woman that I met uh, called Sadie. Um, yeah, sorry, what was the question again? That's
Your first love.
my first love. Yeah, so I met her at university. We were very interested in the same things. Um,
Uh-huh.
we had a lot in common. She did have a boyfriend at the time when we were friends to start off with. She broke it off with the boyfriend, and then it seemed like there was a connection there that we needed to explore. So yeah, over time we did go out with each other, and we did. I did love her from the beginning, and that was my first experience of it as well. I do reserve quite a lot of time for myself, and I was more than willing to hand over my time to her. So yeah, that was probably her.
And when you are on the date scene, you said a little bit about the negative sides. And when you go on a date of someone, when you are connected with someone, what's
Mhm.
something about it that gets your attention straight away? About the personality, there is something that for you go like, okay, that's already a positive point.
Um, I think the positive point for me is if you're unusual, if there's a
I
little
like,
a little bit of mystery to you and a little bit of substance to you, something that
yeah,
I don't quite understand yet. I think that is actually quite magical. As human beings, we're constantly trying to untangle puzzles in our head. But I quite like on a first date, just yeah, a sense of mystery and being a little bit. I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, unusual is probably the word that I would land on. Um,
yeah,
yeah, not the regular interactions or the regular like for instance, most people's first dates are just sit down, have some dinner,
yeah,
by candlelight or otherwise. I like someone who will suggest something that's a little bit different. Like for instance, I had one where we went axe throwing instead, and it was just like that was a little bit unusual. I was like, this is good, this is
I
good.
like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a big fan of that kind of thing anyway. So it's just hit the head on the nail on the head there, really. So yeah, kind of like that.
Nice one. Very nice. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Wonderful.
Okay, next question for you is, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
Oh, wow. I spent so much time in my room as a kid. But at the same time, I spent a lot of time inside, and that world sort of became my playground. I had a lot of toys. I was very fortunate to have quite a lot of toys as a young child, and to make they used to be called like Scale Electrics or something like that. I can't think what the actual brand name is now, but you used to get to race these cars around these tracks. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I had a little drum set. A little drum set. I've got a photo of me and my old friend, my old best friend, Aaron Lincoln, playing on that drum kit when we were very, very little. Those are some of my fondest memories. I also had this Casio keyboard that had all of the tracks, that they come preloaded with. And I used to love to sit there with my other friend, Oliver Moore, and we'd sort of pretend that we were playing, like being like maestros whilst these things played and hitting all the wrong notes because it would still play. But yeah, that was probably one of my most treasured memories there. But I spent a lot of time at clubs and stuff. My mum put a lot of effort in, a lot of effort in with enrichment as a child.
Wow.
So I remember quite fondly this time where I think it was called Woodcraft, was the name of the overarching group, and at Woodcraft we would go out. I can't remember fully because this is a very long time ago, but yeah, we went out into this campsite, and I remember sort of sitting around making this fire, helping to make this fire in the middle of this big circle pit, and we would all sing songs and stuff like that. But despite the smoke would basically was blowing into our faces because it was such a big fire. But yeah, we had such a good time there singing songs. We used to do like club activities and stuff like that. Though that was a big part of my childhood as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah.
When you think about Brandon, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being? What like the most about being Brandon?
What's the biggest joy of being me? The infinite possibilities, I
Wow.
would say.
Wow.
That's part of the human experience. We get to go wherever we want to. A lot of people choose to live their lives in a way where it's very structural. It's very obviously you go to university if you want to, go to college, go to university if you want to, then you get a job, then you have kids, you get a wife, all that stuff, and then you retire and you die. I have no desire to live like that. It's a completely valid option for so many people, and I'm so happy for them if that's what they're happy with. But yeah, at the same time, that's just not how I want to live my life. I like having the freedom to go wherever I want, do whatever I want, express myself in any way that I want. So yeah, the infinite possibilities of where my life can go is the biggest joy of it, I would say.
And what's the meaning of life for you?
Oh, the meaning of life. The meaning of life for me
Yeah.
personally is to create. Is to
Wow.
create. I think we were put here for some reason, and I think that there are so many people. There's a few that don't have this, but and I think that like to write books, for instance, like you in an essence are, if we're taking it on a religious sense, that's the closest to God that you can get. I'm not a religious man. Well, I guess I'm spiritual, but I'm not secular religion or anything like that. That's the closest to being creating a world that you can get, and that's the same with poetry, with music, with art, with literature, all of those things. That I think is the meaning of life: is to come here, create something, and plant the seeds for trees that you'll never sit under the shade of. To quote, I can't think which Greek philosopher that was that said that, but I think that that's such a beautiful quote.
Love that for sure. 2 questions left. Let's do
Oh,
it.
wonderful.
Okay, before the next question, tell me about what's your big inspiration for you to write your poems?
My biggest inspiration, it can come from anywhere. It can come from anywhere. Poetry is actually something that I very recently got into. I've again at the Komodo, which is owned by Michael Logan. There is a night that's geared towards poetry, which is called the Secret Poet Society. I guess it's not so secret now. I've just told you about it. But so at the Secret Poet Society, I was sort of like listen to these poets speak and take their stories and put them into such lovely words. So I started to write myself. Um, and that's when I wrote. I got home that day. I think after two times of visiting this poetry night, and I was like, I'm going to give it a crack. So I sat down and I wrote it out, and that's where the very first video that's on my TikTok, Melatonin, came out. I very recently went through a very, very difficult breakup, a very, very difficult breakup indeed.
Mhm.
And writing the poetry about that has been like therapy almost, but to also not just say it in a way of like I'm complaining. I feel like, oh,
No,
because breakups do make you feel like that. They just
totally, yeah.
they can really throw your heart into some difficult
Yes.
places. It's almost like withdrawal from a drug addiction. But
Yes.
poetry was a good way, and writing music as well was a great way to come through that. And I'm happy to say, I'm sort of out of that withdrawal stage. I'm very happy with where my life's at now. So yeah. I hope I've answered the question there. I think I got a bit of a tangent.
No, I love it. I love it. And it makes all sense. It's all about some. It's interesting because artists, when they are writing songs, when they are, writing poems as well, I
Mhm.
think there's something. And the tendency is always about something about ourselves. Maybe something that you're going through, melancholic, and actually, people people they connect with that. People who listen to it or people who read it, they go like, "Oh my God." You see those big songs around the world, these artists expressing those songs. And when
Yeah,
you pay attention to the lyrics, it's always a breakup, something, there's always something which is beautiful. It's reality, it's
it
real.
is.
It's there, and people like that because,
It is.
of course, there are different genres of songs and they are amazing as well. But when you listen to a song and there is something real there, it gets
Mhm.
you straight away. You get, oh my God, I've been there before, or I'm facing that now, or
Yeah.
somebody around me, it's just going through that. So there's a beauty behind something very unique and rare as well, and genuine. So I think it's amazing. Get it for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. As I said, we're all human, and it's not we like to not feel alone, obviously. So
Totally.
when someone comes and puts across with to you
Yeah.
in like a some sort of artist way, where however that might be, and you can snatch something from that, it makes us feel less alone. And I think that's kind of one of the most beautiful parts of every kind of art, basically, is that it makes us
Yeah.
feel a little bit less alone.
It's comfort you somehow. Bring some comfort for whatever you're going through, whatever you're passing by. There's a comfort there. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you.
Next question is, what motivates you the most in life?
What motivates me the most in life? I think my answer to this question is probably one that quite a lot of people have. Um, the thing that motivates me most to do the things that I do in my life is that I never want to be on my deathbed at the very end of my life, or, it could end very suddenly. Maybe I don't get a deathbed and I just drop dead on the spot. I don't want to be stood over my body if I have any form of consciousness, afterwards, which I believe that I do. A lot of people disagree with that.
Mhm.
That's the where the world's at, and but I don't want to be stood over my body and think, oh, I had so much left to do. I
Oh,
could have done
yeah.
so many things. I don't want to be stood over my body when I I clock out and have any regrets whatsoever. So that's kind of the way that I live my life, and I think everyone should, to have absolutely no regrets, to if a job's making you unhappy and you've been stuck in there for a long time, leave the job. There's something else out there. If you're in a relationship that's making you unhappy and has done for a very long time, I'm not saying that everyone should leave their relationship just because they're a little bit unhappy. Some people go through rough patches, but um, if something makes you fundamentally unhappy and has done for a long time, then I don't think there should be any regret in leaving that behind and pursuing something new that does make you happy. Um, and that's kind of it. you know, that's the.
What's your star sign astrology, Brandon?
My star sign is Pisces.
So you are in March?
I was born in February,
February.
the
Okay.
end of February.
I see.
Yeah. What about you? What are you?
I'm Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio. I'm not gonna lie. I know so little about star signs and
Yeah.
what month is that?
My is November. So
Is November.
my mom is Pisces. My mom is end of March.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know much. Just I'm curious. Some star signs. Just there's some personalities that I understand, but I'm not like I don't understand things about astrology for sure.
Of course. There's something to be had there. You know,
Sure.
a lot of people believe in it, and a lot of people, you know, I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but I have noticed there's a lot of people that fall under the sign of Pisces that are very creative, very open-hearted, very, you know, inviting with their time, and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting to me. Very interesting.
Last question. Ready?
I'm more than ready. More than
Let's,
ready.
let's
Oh, this has been such a lovely interview. Thank you so much.
Okay, before the last question, tell me 3 names of 3 artists that you always be inspired by in your music through your career. 3 names.
3 names. Jacob Collier,
Okay.
huge, you know, influence in where I'm going and where I've been.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacob Collier, Dodie Clark has again, you know, the way that both of them, you know, are able to layer harmonies and create these worlds just without even saying anything. I think is just so beautiful, you know. And then obviously they add the words on top, and that creates an extra amount of magic. I respect those two so much as artists. But growing up through my life, John Mayer was and I understand there's a lot of controversy around John Mayer, but like if we take him just you know, the music level, his music and his covers and his ability to play the guitar are just beyond marvelous. And the guy still, I'm still in awe of him now. You know, the way that he can do a solo, miss a note, and it's like, oh no, he's missed a note, but then he'll bring it back, and the guy just weaves music like an expert. Yeah, so I'll probably say those 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna put right in the spot right now. So one day, let's see that all of them, those 3, they're still with us. Yeah. Okay. One day you're gonna wake up in the morning having 3 missed calls on your phone for those 3 you just mentioned right now.
Okay.
Which one you call that? You know where I'm going, yeah?
I think so. I think I know, yeah.
Which one you gonna call back straight away? Which one you gonna send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you don't send a message, you just leave it.
Okay. Okay. Oh God, that is so hard. That is so hard. I would say the person that I would pick up the phone to straight away, and it's a mixture between 2, but I think I'm landing on this person, just purely because I followed their work for much more time, and I've got to see their experience blossom for a long time. Is Dodie Clark? I think I would pick up the phone immediately to her, and just because I've seen her grow as an artist, you know, from her YouTube channel, from you know, from a Spotify and her music, and just how lovely of a personality she is over, you know, through her music and through the personality that you get to see on YouTube. Oh man, so I've only got 2 left. Jacob Collier. I would. Oh gosh, Jacob Collier. I would message him and say I will ring you back later, and I would ring him back later, just to discuss. Oh, just so much. I think the guy is so magical, and you know that is so evident, and you know, in the crowds that he can make, you know, sing, and the environment that he can create. Like I say, I'm so in awe of the guy and what he can do. It's so incredible. And sadly, that leaves us John Mayer. And I would be so, oh God, it would rip something apart inside of me just because of how long I followed his work for. You know, from the Continuum album back from, you know, Squares. Oh God, it would kill me to do it, but yeah,
Don't worry.
it would be.
Don't worry, he's gonna call you back in 2 days' time. And he's gonna ask you why you haven't called me back yet.
You know, if John Mayer ever comes to me and he's like, "Oh, why haven't you called me yet, Brandon?" He holds me to that high of a regard. Oh God, I
And
would
you
die
can
of
blame
happiness.
you can blame me. So you know what? It's William's fault because he said that I need to choose other two first.
It's all you, William. It's all you.
I take all the blame. I take all the blame. It's fine. I put in it's my fault.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, last question now. This is a very tough question.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If your plane was going down and you could call just one person to say goodbye, which person that would be and why?
You know what? I can answer this question from lived experience, not because I was going down in a plane or anything. It's actually a very stupid story. It's a very stupid story, but we like stories here. So what I'm going to tell you is, it would be my mum, and the reason that I know this, and I will speak on this to a level of degree. So for my friend Mike's birthday, we went to Nottingham. I don't drink anymore, but I did drink back then. And the night that we went out was the same night that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Right.
So throughout the night, we're getting more and more drunk, more and more, having more and more fun. My friend Mike, he's going through his phone like, oh, this could mean some very bad stuff. We could be going for World War III, you know, as I think the world felt at the time, was like, oh, this could really trigger a large domino effect, and we could be in a lot of trouble. So yes, we had our night out, and he's scaring us somewhat as he's going through the night. He's checking ITV very, very constantly almost. And we wake up the next day. We're you know how a hangover is when you just like, it's probably the worst hangover that I've ever had. So we all go to Michael's room in the hotel. I was with the very lovely Emma Louise, Rob Parperis, as well as Ollie as well, our other friend. And Elliot as well, who's our other friend. And we were all sat in the room, and Mike's going through his phone still. He's quite obsessive about it, like, oh, this could really mean something very bad. He's going through ITV, he's going through BBC News, he's going through the Daily Mail, he's going through, not, some of these aren't, they come with their downsides, and maybe some of them are a bit more right-wing or a bit more left-wing, but, for the most part, it's news. So we're we're all thinking, oh, everything that he's saying is absolutely true. Sorry. And suddenly, I think I left the room for whatever reason, came back in. So please bear in mind, in this story, I've just seen him go through legitimate, news articles. This is very embarrassing for me. I hear come out of his phone, Russia has launched nuclear missiles at London, Manchester, Nottingham. And I was like, oh my God, because and in my head, I thought, this is real. We're at nuclear war here.
Oh my.
And everybody who was watching this is probably thinking, Brandon, you're so stupid. That never happened. That was never going to happen. Whatever. Yeah. So in my head, in my alcohol-addled, rotting brain at this point, just purely from the hangover, I was thinking the world was going to end. As it happens, and I thought, oh, we've got like 5-10 minutes, before all this kicks off. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just pure panic, just flows through my body. As anyone that does think they're about to die, probably does get. So I went into the bathroom, and I immediately picked up the phone, and I was like, Mum, bosh, like, go straight. And that was when she was sat on the sofa. This is such a silly story, but we're all human, we all make mistakes, of course. And that was when I said to her, like, Mum, they're launching nuclear missiles, like it's all kicking off. And she went, Brandon, right, calm down a minute. Like, the fact that you can even reach me on this phone, she's not even from the north. I don't know why I've got a northern accent on. She's like, the fact that you're even on this phone tells me it probably isn't happening, but let me check the news. So she's flicked over to the news. We didn't have any TVs in the hotel or anything. It was just purely the room. And she goes, "Oh yeah, they're just on about like schools and the economy." So I don't think it's real. So that was when Mike called us out of the he called us out of the bathroom. He went, "Guys, it's not real. It's not real. I've just clicked on this thing that you know it's just a prank. It's just a prank." It wasn't a prank that he meant to pull, but you know he thought it was legitimate as well. But yeah, that story made us feel. It made us all feel a little bit stupid, and thankfully, I got to go home, spend some time with my family. You know, just you know, when you actually think you're going to die, it puts your life in quite a large perspective. So yeah,
What a relief! What a relief after go like, okay, it's not happening. What a relief as well. Ooh.
exactly. Oh god, it was yeah the what's it called? The cortisol in my stomach sort of stayed there for a while, which is you know a product of adrenaline. But yeah, it did eventually flush out my system after I had a little home cooked meal. You know, from my mum, spent some time with my family, and everything was okay in the end.
Sweet, very sweet. And we are still here. This is good. It's a proof that
Yes, yeah. We all survived for now, anyway. But yeah, we survived.
Brando, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start with money.
Money. Not the be all and end all.
Fear.
Fear. Big reaction can lead.
One word. One word.
One word. Okay. Fear. Explosive.
Okay. Family.
Love.
Life.
Live.
Religion.
Faulty.
Love.
Everything.
Politics.
Hard.
One word for friendship.
Again, everything.
Desire.
Ooh. Soft.
Regret.
None.
Success.
Just one word. Success. I want to say like out of reach or something for out of reach. We're never quite done.
Okay. Wish.
Wish.
Yeah.
Always.
Happiness.
Difficult.
One word for Lincoln.
Stunning.
One word for England.
Oh. Oh, that's a hard one. England. Complicated.
One word for poetry.
Sharing.
One word for musician.
Electric.
And the last one now, one word for music.
Energy.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Brandon in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you?
For me, so one positive word, I think he would say emotional. And emotional, somewhere between emotional and caring. On the negative, I think it somewhat exists in the same area as emotional and caring. Sometimes, you know, the naivety of being an empath and really caring about people can lead you to some interesting places. So yeah, I would say caring and empathetic for both, actually.
I get it. I understand your point for sure. They walk together. They can walk together for sure.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a very good question, actually. I really enjoyed that one.
Let's play now Brandon and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Ooh, wonderful.
Okay, Brandon, you can ask me a question now.
What is the thing that you enjoy the most in the world?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what, Brandon? I'm a very, I love to learn. You know, I love to learn. I love to, I'm very curious about things. When I learn something new, I always say, my God, I just earn my day to day. You know, of course, you know, and I think all resonates with the magic box because I have no idea how much I've been learning here. I could tell you so many stories about some topics that for me was a taboo. It was something I never heard before, something that for me was something that, and I love, it's for me, it's so interesting to be here, sitting with different people around the globe and, having a chat as we are having right now, having so much fun. And there's always something that I've learned. Sometimes because I'm so enthusiastic here doing the show and I don't get it straight away. But when I have my silence time, when I'm editing the interview, that's where I see the interview with different eyes. And then I go like, oh my God, that's so interesting. So yeah, I think, answer to your question, I'm very enthusiastic about everything in life, about people, about learning, about, things that I'm uncomfortable with, or maybe something that I love to do, maybe movies, music, all of the things for me, it just moves my day every single day. So for me, it's very easy because sometimes I'm enthusiastic with silly things, you know what I mean? Things that for me, people would be like, as you're talking about, the stories, it's sometimes can feel silly, not feel, can look like, it looks like silly, but when you are living it, is the best feeling you are having. So do you know that point? So I think that's what I enjoy the most about life is just enjoying every bit, what I'm doing, what I'm learning, what I'm sharing as well. I think all of that, it makes me, it brings the best of me. So yeah, that's my answer for you for sure. Simple and easy.
That is such a lovely answer. Such a lovely answer. I think there's something to be said for when you said like the things that make you uncomfortable. I think that when you push yourself into an area where you're uncomfortable is where the most growth happens and the most exciting things happen in your life. And I'm so glad that you get to experience that. As much as I'm experiencing that, and I love what you're doing here.
It's like educating ourselves, you know what I mean? It's the only way for you to educate yourself sometimes is going through a place where you never, never been there before, or maybe for you was a taboo, or maybe for you wasn't very clear. And when someone, somehow shows you in a different way, you go like, oh my God, that's interesting to see. So I could tell so many situations that I wasn't aware of, and now for me it was a bit like, oh, I never, sometimes we have our things in our head that we know is there, but why to go there? It doesn't change anything. Yeah. And when sometimes you have the opportunity to go there, why not? And you go there and you find something new that you didn't know. You know what I mean? So I think that's very enthusiastic, and I love that. I think it makes all sense for me. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Did you enjoy? Did you enjoy the interview?
So much. I didn't realize how much. I was very nervous coming in, and you've been such a gracious host, and thank you for being such a lovely and wonderful person. It shines through in your character, and I've enjoyed this a lot. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to voice this and have this conversation with you. It's
the pleasure's all mine. The pleasure's all mine, Brandon. Trust me, I love to have people, very passionate people here, enthusiastic. I think it's the energy flowing here between us. I think it's just the natural thing to happen for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, of course. So my quote comes from earlier on in the interview, where I said that I think we should all plant the seeds for trees that we will never sit under the shade of. I think that's something very beautiful, and something to be said there. There's something that exists after us, just as much as there was something that existed before us. Use our time on this earth to sow the seeds, create things, make a better world for the people that come after, and just enjoy everything as much as possible.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks again. Thanks for the interview. Thanks for being so kind and sweet. And keep in touch. Pleasure to have you on the show. Okay. Regards to your family and friends. Okay.
Thank you so much. Same to you as well. Thank you for everything that we've done today. It's been amazing.
Have a good night.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.